Welcome back to Education Inky Lab. Today I have a special video for you. We're going to explore the uncomfortable reality behind our high-tech lifestyles. From the mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo to the massive profits of tech giants, we'll examine how the global race for cobalt fuels exploitation and environmental destruction. This video will contain images of the harsh realities of neocolonialism and slavery. This is a trigger warning. Let's take a closer look at the true cost of our technology. Our lives are powered by technology. From the latest smartphones to military defense, we've built a world that runs on innovation, clean, efficient, and undeniably convenient. But beneath the polished veneer of these technologies lies a question we rarely stop to ask. What's the real cost of our convenience? The devices and vehicles that have become necessities in our lives are powered by rechargeable batteries. And at the heart of those batteries are finite metals and minerals that come with a hidden price. Today, I would like you to consider cobalt. Cobalt is a vital element in modern technology, with its most significant applications in rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. These batteries power a wide range of devices, including smartphones, laptops, cameras, gimbals, drones, electric vehicles, and so many others. In lithium-ion batteries, cobalt plays a crucial role in the cathode, enhancing energy density and stability, which are essential for long battery life and high performance. The demand for cobalt has skyrocketed with the growth of our essential industries. Approximately 70% of the global cobalt mining industry is dedicated to producing lithium-ion batteries, with the largest share being used in electric vehicles. The rest of the cobalt is applied in industries such as military, aerospace, electronics, and healthcare. Though cobalt is a finite metal, it should not be confused with rare earths, of which there are 17. Beyond batteries, we can argue for the use case of cobalt, as it is integral to renewable energy technologies such as wind turbines, where it is used in the production of strong permanent magnets. These magnets improve efficiency, particularly in low wind conditions, supporting the global push for cleaner energy sources. But is it truly the green revolution our tech companies, media, and governments want us to believe it is? Let's take a look at the supply chain. Mining in the DRC. Cobalt in the Democratic Republic of Congo is extracted both through large-scale industrial mining and small-scale artisanal operations. Industrial mining is dominated by multinational companies, while artisanal mining accounts for about 20% of the cobalt supply. Now at this point, I'm sure you're wondering what the heck artisanal mining is. When I think artisanal, I think about sourdough bread and carefully crafted slow fashion. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. According to Glencore, one of the biggest mining companies in the world, artisanal mining refers to small-scale, informal mining carried out by individuals or small groups, using primitive tools with methods like panning and digging as a means of livelihood in developing countries. Militia groups often form around artisanal mining sites to exploit valuable resources like cobalt and other metals and minerals. These groups finance their operations through illegal mining, extortion, and taxing miners, fostering instability and perpetuating violence. The lack of regulation enables these armed factions to thrive. While it supports millions economically, both industrial and artisanal mining causes significant environmental damage and involves hazardous working conditions lacking legal regulation. This is something we would absolutely not stand for in our Western world. So why is it acceptable for someone else to go through this that's thousands of miles away? I suppose that age-old adage is true: out of sight, out of mind. Conglomerates using words like artisanal mining is a way to artwash the issue, making it more palatable for our Western sensibilities. The 2023 Global Slavery Index estimates that on any given day in 2021, there were 407,000 people living in modern slavery in the DRC. This equates to 4.5 people in modern slavery for every 1,000 people. In the DRC, with a population of only 89,561,000 in the whole country. Furthermore, in a report written by freetheslaves.net, 7 types of slavery were identified. This includes forced labour, forced prostitution, debt slavery, extreme child labour, forced marriage, sexual slavery, and last but not least, peonage, which is when workers are compelled to work to pay off things like rent or living expenses to their employer, even though they should be paid a living wage in their home country, which of course means that products would be more expensive if this were considered. Additionally, 23% of those in slavery are between the ages of 7 and 18. This sentiment is echoed by Kara in 2023 in his book Cobalt Red, stating that it's not chattel slavery from the 18th century where you can buy and trade people and own a title over a person like property, but the level of degradation, the level of exploitation, is on par with old world slavery. Efforts like the Better Mining program aim to improve transparency and safety, but challenges remain significant. After extraction, cobalt ore is exported for refinement. The lack of processing infrastructure in the DRC prevents the country from capturing the value within its borders, echoing a colonial model where raw materials are shipped to wealthier nations for value-added manufacturing. This dynamic also places the DRC in a dependent position within the global supply chain. Processed cobalt returns to Western markets as part of battery components used in electronics and electric vehicles. US and European companies face increasing pressure to ensure ethical sourcing practices amid growing concerns about blood cobalt. However, ensuring a traceable and ethically sourced supply chain remains challenging because we have embedded the technology into the economy and there is no stopping production. Global mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo has significant environmental impacts contributing to climate change and ecological damage. Mining operations often result in deforestation, which releases stored carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. The extraction process itself generates greenhouse gases through the use of heavy machinery and transportation. Moreover, mining disrupts ecosystems, contaminates water sources with toxic waste, and harms soil fertility, making it difficult for local communities to farm or access clean water. This degradation not only exacerbates local climate vulnerability, but also undermines global climate mitigation efforts by increasing the carbon footprint of the green energy supply chain. Addressing these issues requires stricter regulation, more sustainable practices, and corporate accountability to reduce cobalt mining's adverse effects on the environment. It can be argued that in the long run, cobalt mining supports the low-carbon transition, provides significant employment in the DRC, and through initiatives like the Fair Cobalt Alliance can promote safer, sustainable practices and community development. Despite its importance, the reliance on cobalt raises ethical and environmental concerns. Over 70% of the global cobalt supply is mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo, often under conditions involving child labour and poor safety standards. This has driven research into alternative materials and efforts to reduce cobalt in battery technologies. Not all rechargeable batteries rely on cobalt, and the trend in battery technology is towards reducing or eliminating their use due to ethical, environmental, and cost concerns. Technologies such as lithium ferrophosphate, sodium ion, and solid-state batteries hold promise as viable substitutes for cobalt-dependent systems. That's not to say that these systems won't pose issues. I'm sure they will, since after all, The only way we can make a profit is by taking advantage of developing countries economically, or at least till the neo-colonial economic model is abandoned. If we consider both the environmental and human impact this has, and we ask ourselves, why them and why not us, we could create actual change in supply and demand as consumers. By supporting research and development in these areas, tech giants can play a role in accelerating the transition to cobalt-free energy solutions which are kind to humans and the Earth. Until then, we can take action in our own way. We can extend the lifespan of our electronic devices such as laptops and smartphones, rather than replacing devices as soon as they show signs of wear. We as consumers can repair or refurbish tech, opting for models with removable or replaceable batteries and other electronic waste. By prioritizing repairability and longevity over disposability, consumers can significantly decrease the need for newly mined materials. Many devices and batteries contain valuable minerals and metals like cobalt, which can be reclaimed through proper recycling processes. Consumers should seek out certified e-waste recycling programs or trade-in programs offered by manufacturers. This practice also helps reduce the environmental impact associated with electronic waste, including pollution and landfill overflow. Public advocacy for the adoption of alternative materials can put pressure on both governments and corporations to fund sustainable innovations, ultimately leading to reduced dependence on cobalt in the long term. The current way is not the only way, and it very rarely ever is. In the description box, there are 2 sections you can look at. The first section contains a list of my references which helped me produce this video essay, and the other section contains helpful resources for those of you who feel impacted by the harsh realities others have to live with to mine cobalt for our technology. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Education Inky Lab.